Hello everyone, my name is Paige Coleman and I'm a third year marine biology student at Deakin University. Today I'm going to talk to you about my experience during SLE225 Global Environmental Placement. I partook in spinner dolphin conservation research with Global Vision International, or GVI, which was based in Fiji. Introduction to GVI. Global Vision International is a non-political and non-religious organisation that was developed in 1997 by Richard Walton and is now operating over 250 projects all over the world. My project was based in Moon Reef in the Dawasami district of Viti Levu, Fiji. GVI supports international charities, non-profit and governmental agencies by providing funding, resources, equipment, knowledge and personnel to assist the community. GVI has offices in the UK, the USA and Australia. The Spinner Dolphin project is run in conjunction with the Whale and Dolphin Conservation Society. The research data here is shared with other organisations worldwide in order to conserve all spinner dolphin populations. GVI has three main objectives of their organisation, which they use to measure their success. Number one, to create awareness of global and local issues, as well as a cultural understanding through the members of staff of GVI as well as community members. 2, to create sustainable solutions to these issues. 3, to provide the knowledge and ability to all involved, including the local community, the staff and the volunteers, so they can continue to make a difference. Fiji base. For 2 weeks I stayed with 7 other volunteers at Takalana Bay Retreat, which is located next to Solana Village and on the beach that would take us out to Moon Reef. The accommodation was clean, however a little basic from what we are used to. We all shared a room with bunk beds and a bathroom that had no door. There was also no air conditioning, no fan, and definitely no internet access. I'm grateful though that we were provided with mosquito nets and all of our meals were cooked by the staff at Takalana for us. Why I chose GVI. I chose GVI as I knew that this placement would put into practice everything I've been learning about in regards to conservation, ecology and behaviour for the past 2 years at Deakin University, as well as learning specifically about spinner dolphins from the field staff who witness them every day. I believe that this placement could lead to very exciting professional opportunities in the future if I showed a good work ethic and mannerism. On the GVI website, it stated some volunteers are asked to stay on the project under a GVI scholarship or on a full-time job, which also encouraged me to pursue this placement. I really hoped to receive either of these opportunities, however, to my dismay, I was not successful. I felt that I would develop personally more than anything else, as I was quite a reserved person and I knew that this placement would push me out of my comfort zone and accomplish great things both personally, making friends, coming out of my shell and learning about myself, as well as professionally making contacts and receiving professional opportunities. I recall my main goals before commencing placement were to make lifelong friendships and to make a fine contribution to the research and conservation. I am fortunate enough to have met both these goals during my placement and I will discuss them further later. Description of tasks. Every day of my placement was spent out on the green, a boat owned by Melly, one of the local villages, on Moon Reef. It was a half-an-hour boat trip out to the reef, which seems long, however the boat was small and I was surrounded by new friends, so the trip was fun. While at Moon Reef, the volunteers undertook data collection by taking photo identification images, such as here, photo cataloguing, making acoustic recordings, like here, and recording behavioural observations. During acoustics, we take recordings with an underwater microphone, listening for whistles and clicks of the dolphins. During behaviour, we record the quantity of the behaviours displayed, for example, 2 nose outs, 3 leaps and 1 spin. The spin is a unique behaviour to the spinner dolphin and it's what they're named after. During photo identification, we take photos of individual dorsal fins as each one is different like a human fingerprint, and catalogue them for future use and individual identification to see dolphins who were present during each research project. I even got to name one of the dolphins that I photographed. It had the point of its dorsal fin missing, so I named it Stout. This name will be used by future volunteers when identifying individual dolphins, which is pretty cool to have a lasting impression. Our 2 groups had 4 volunteers. and each task was allocated to a different person each day. However, each group member participated in behavioural observations each day. In the evenings, we catalogued all of our photographs and we put all of our data collected on the boat into the computer and developed Spin a Dolphin PowerPoint presentations as a group to present to the village. One was presented to the local primary school and one to the village as a whole. This was done in order to involve them in the work we were doing and educate them about the need for dolphin protection and what they could do to help, such as keeping the beach clean and not fishing in Moon Reef. We were involved in a sevu sevu, which is a welcome ceremony, which we had to do before we could commence any work on Moon Reef as it belonged to the people of Solana village. This involves kava, which is a drink made from a root that is very popular amongst the Fijians. We were required to drink at least one bowl of it. It tasted like dirty dishwater and looked like water mixed with dirt. It was not the best thing I tried over there. We also did a beach cleanup with the local kids of Solana, as you can see here. Those bags are holding rubbish that we sorted into recyclables and burnables. The staff of GVI bestowed more responsibility on my group than the other, as they fell short of expectations to interact with the locals, appear friendly and complete all work with zealous. The volunteers who impressed GVI staff were included in a 4-minute promotional project video, which was put on GVI's website and also aired on Fijian television. I worked closely alongside my group and we completed all of our work to the best of our ability. I was also able to provide a younger marine biology student with some advice. I told Greta to recount any of her experiences to potential employers and update her resume constantly. It was the same advice given to me by a professional in the field. I'll just show you a bit of our promotional video now. That's us on the boat, that's me, that's Melly, our boat captain, and these are the dolphins. Well, I hope you enjoyed a bit of our video. That was made by Sarah, the staff of GVI. She told us that for every dolphin we saw on the surface, there was 2 underneath, and I didn't believe her until I saw that video. Okay, results. I do feel as though I made a meaningful contribution to the organisation, as my group made an effort to ensure all data was collected and recorded as efficiently as possible, so it would be useful to the Whale and Dolphin Conservation Society, GVI and the Fijian government, to encourage the making of the already protected Moon Reef into a dolphin sanctuary. Even though I was only there for 2 weeks, I was made to feel as though I was a crucial component in the long-term goal of making Moon Reef a dolphin sanctuary by GVI. We also had a positive impact on the local villagers by befriending them and teaching them. They were more than happy to accept us to aid the protection of the dolphins they are so very proud of. The presence of volunteers on GVI projects help fund any research or activities that would be impossible without manpower, such as the Spin a Dolphin conservation research we did, and the education of the local villagers through presentations and beach cleanups. The data collected will go to a master's student at the Whale and Dolphin Conservation Society, where the research will hopefully be published. This could help contribute to making Moon Reef a dolphin sanctuary. The research here was not only vital information on the behaviour of spinner dolphins, What we did will assess whether tourism boats have an impact on dolphin behaviour and acoustics, which of course is vital knowledge. This research will be shared with other organisations in order to help conserve spinner dolphin populations worldwide. My experiences. I'm quite proud of myself from the outcome I've had from my experience with GVI. I made fantastic friends with my research group, Greta, Hannah and Marie, and I even learnt some Fijian words such as bombale, which means dolphin, and kavalangi, which is what the Fijian people called us as we are foreigners. I may not have come away with a scholarship or a full-time job. However, Marie does research with sea turtles in their breeding season, tracking nest placement, nest success, informing the tourists of the turtles' presence and what they can do to help. Marie said she would take me on as a master's student, which I was thrilled to hear. My previous values have changed since returning from Fiji. I have become a little offside about wild animals being kept captive. When I started out as a marine biology student, I had the pipe dream that everyone has of working with the dolphins at SeaWorld or in the Melbourne Aquarium. Now, however, seeing dolphins in the wild like that and learning about them to help conserve them was so much more rewarding than seeing dolphins do tricks in a pool that they were trained to do. I would much prefer to show the public how amazing animals are in the wild without disturbing them too much, of course. That is why I have become passionate about the field of ecotourism, and I believe this is what my Masters will be about. My views of GVI. I have a high opinion of GVI and would be thrilled if they offered me a place on their staff, especially somewhere like Fiji, where the marine life is spectacular. I became good friends with the staff based at GVI Fiji, such as Sarah and 2 Fijian men, Wise and Jim. Staff needed a little better communication in regards to how the research needed to be carried out. However, I understand that this is challenging when you do not always have phone reception or access to the internet to contact each other. In conclusion, if anyone else was given such a fantastic opportunity like me to volunteer with GVI at Moon Reef, I would hope that they would not pass it up. I learnt so much about the dolphins, the Fijian culture, the language, and even myself. I had such a fantastic time over there and surprised myself that I made such great friends and didn't want to come home. So that concludes my presentation on my experience with SLE225. It was definitely my favourite subject and would recommend all students to go for it. It's a chance to travel, get some hands-on experience, make friends, connections, and learn.